Ladies and gents, I am the one and only DJ Storms. Welcome back to the channel here on YouTube.com. It is, of course, Monday, May 17th, 2021. You, of course, are seeing this on May 17th. I'm actually recording this directly after the show. This is the official rewind for WWE WrestleMania Backlash 2021, which of course streamed live on Peacock yesterday evening with the pre-show starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And we all know how bad the WWE product is. It's no secret. Monday Night Raw sucks. SmackDown sucks outside of Roman Reigns. NXT has been completely stripped of everything that made it must-see. The WWE just flat out sucks. And the main reason why is because they don't give a shit. They're not putting any effort into anything that they're doing. Why? Because they're making all the money in the world from the television deals from the USA Network and Fox and Saudi Arabian government and Peacock. So they're operating with this mentality, and they've been operating with this mentality for almost a decade now. And it's the fact that, oh hey, we're WWE, they're gonna watch anyway, we don't need to put any effort into any of our weekly shows because the audience is always gonna be there, blah, 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 blah. And sometimes, not all the time, sometimes when the WWE goes into a pay-per-view, when we go into a show, any show really, that's been poorly built, which is pretty much every single WWE show. I can't remember the last time a main roster pay-per-view had an overall decent build. Not even a good build, a decent build, a semi-decent build. Every single show, every single build towards a WWE show feels the exact fucking same. But sometimes when we go into a show with zero expectations, just like we went into this show with zero expectations, sometimes we end up getting a fairly good overall show. Now, that does not mean that we can jump for joy and start doing backflips and holding hands and singing Kumbaya. We got one good show. One good show. One good show is nothing to jump for joy about. We did not waste our time on May 16th. It was not a waste of 3 hours. We actually got some fairly decent wrestling within the 3-hour period that we watched from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. If you were on the East Coast, that is. Of course, if you were further into the United States on the western side, you saw it a little bit earlier. But regardless, we ended up getting a fairly good show. Does that mean that we are going to get a good Raw tonight? Absolutely not. When was the last time Raw was a fucking good show? Does that mean that we're going to get an overwhelmingly positive SmackDown on Friday? Absolutely not. We got one good show. So for one night, I'm not going to overly bash the WWE product like I usually do on the Lightning Flash update. But regardless, there was still some negative on the show, but much more positive on the show. We'll go over everything, and there was a lot to go over. A lot happened, actually. For a show that absolutely had nothing going for it, we actually ended up getting a fairly good, not great, but good show. We got a good show, but the WWE product as a whole, it's still complete shit. Until I actually see a consistent string of good shows, I'm not going to sit here and say that WWE is turning over a new leaf. I'm not going to sit here and jump for joy. I'm not going to sit here and throw a party with streamers coming out from the ceiling and blowing a fucking, what was it, a fucking streamer blow, whatever the fuck, a party blow? I don't know. What do they call those? What do they call those? I'm not going to spin pinwheels like the fucking little piggy in the Geico commercial. Whee! One good show, but you won't hear me rant too much on the show. I know some people enjoy my rants, and trust me, I enjoy the fact that you enjoy my rants, but I won't be doing too much ranting on the show, specifically because of the fact that A, it was a good show, and B, I don't really want to lose my voice, considering I will be graduating later today because I am fucking awesome. If you don't already know, I'm fucking awesome. I'm just as awesome as Roman Reigns, who is still the Universal Champion, still the Tribal Chief, still the head of the table. Ain't nobody better than Roman Reigns right now. I find it funny how I was probably the biggest Roman Reigns detractor, even when he wasn't in a World Championship title program. Now I'm the biggest Roman Reigns advocate. And I'm not just saying that because he has Paul Heyman as his special counsel. But regardless, this is the official rewind for WWE WrestleMania Backlash. Thank you very much for joining me here on the channel. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. And unfortunately, I lost my fucking comb. What are you going to do? I think I probably left it in the car, but I ain't worried about that right now. I got plenty of other things to worry about. It was Danielle. Danielle made me forget my comb again. I'll have to check the car. I'm not sure where it is. I lost it. I'll probably go to the supermarket, buy another one. Whatever. It's a black comb. You can get them anywhere. I'm pretty sure you can go to the fucking CVS and get one. It's a black comb. Who cares? But regardless, we got a lot to talk about. Thank you guys for joining me here on the channel. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. You definitely make all of this worthwhile. Before we get into the show, please make sure you follow me on the Twitter sticks at HistoryMakerDJS. I'm actually looking at my profile right now. I actually have my laptop open right now because I actually have a report that I actually do want to read right here, which we will get to in a little bit. Obviously, the lighting isn't the best considering that I am recording this directly after the pay-per-view. You're seeing this on Monday, but I'm recording this directly after the pay-per-view, and there's no lighting behind me to light up my face. I know you want to see this beautiful face, ladies and gentlemen, but regardless of that, please follow me on Twitter at HistoryMakerDJS. You'll find out why I am the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. Please make sure you follow me on Instagram at TheDJStorms. Add me on Facebook as well for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all the links are in the description. You guys did awesome for the weekend uploads. Couple days ago, we had the rundown for WWE WrestleMania Backlash with, of course, Danielle. That did very, very well. That did almost 40 likes and almost 180 views, I believe. That did excellent, as well as the Lightning Flash update. That's well over 100 views and on its way to 30 likes, where we talked about Daniel Bryan and WWE still in open communications. We also talked about Zelina Vega coming back to WWE and why I believe that WWE went out of their way to re-sign Zelina Vega. We also talked about Humberto Carrillo and the fact that he is actually okay. He is not injured. We actually talked about Ricky Starks' injury. Thankfully, he will not need surgery, so if you missed that, please go check that out. We are about almost 9 minutes into the video. If you haven't liked the video, I don't know what you're doing, because when you come on in, you got to make sure you like the video. The like button's right down there. It's really not that hard. All you need to do is scroll down with your mouse and click the like button. We have a goal here. We always have goals here on the DJ Storms channel. Let's see if we can get to, I would say, 30 likes. 30 likes sounds reasonable. I know you guys are an excellent, excellent fan base. The DJ Storms Posse is the best fan base of them all. So if you can, please make sure you get this video to 30 likes. That is the goal. Please make sure you do whatever you can. Share it out on all platforms, social media as well. I'm talking about Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and Tumblr. That way we can get as many people in here as possible, because everybody needs a little bit of DJ Storms in their life. I'm talking about your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters, your sons, your daughters, your aunts, your uncles, your grandmothers, your grandfathers, your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th cousins twice removed. Your dogs, your cats, and especially your guinea pigs, because, like I've said numerous amounts of times, I don't even know how many times I can repeat this, but I have read numerous amounts of articles. I think I got about 2,000 articles lodged in my laptop, specifically stating that if guinea pigs are exposed to DJ Storms, they are said to live long, happy, healthy, fruitful lives. So if you got a guinea pig, I mean, come on. Expose them to DJ Storms. Give them a little bit of DJ Storms. Spice up their life with DJ Storms. And they're going to live a long, happy, healthy, fruitful life with you. Of course, make sure you subscribe. YouTube sucks. YouTube purged about 7 of my subscribers, so I'm up, and then I'm down, then I'm up, and then I'm down. It is, it's quite sad. It's quite sad. It's, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but YouTube sucks. YouTube sucks. Just pointing that out there. YouTube absolutely fucking sucked. So, at the end of the day, I can't really do anything. It is what it is, but at the end of the day, if you guys are not already subscribed to me, please make sure you subscribe to me. It is extremely vital that you do, because I want to grow and I want to expand. And of course, when you subscribe to me, gotta make sure you hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube, because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is the best time to be on YouTube, man. It's the only time you're gonna get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination, this beautiful mustache right here, because everybody wants a piece of the Storms Meister. Alright? Everybody. Anyway. Enough of the self-brand promotion, the advertisements. We are going to get straight into the matches here on WrestleMania Backlash. The show started off with Sheamus. He came out to issue an open challenge for his, or not for his United States Championship. He just came out to issue an open challenge. He said, "Shamey's here on the kickoff, fella. I've issued more open challenges than anyone. Who wants to step into the ring with the greatest superstar of all time, the Celtic Warrior?" And out came Ricochet in jeans. And I'm not sure what the hell this was about. I'm not sure if Ricochet got a 3-minute notice before he came out. I'm not sure if he just completely forgot that there was a pay-per-view. I wouldn't have blamed him. But it's like he was just thrown out there. It was just like he was thrown out there. I'm not sure why he came out in jeans. I'm not sure what the hell happened. Maybe he legitimately did not bring his gear, and he found out last minute. I'm not really sure why else he would be wrestling in jeans. Here's another thing. I don't understand why you would just put this match out there on the kickoff show without any story, any build whatsoever, when this is a potential mid-card feud that could legitimately bring prestige to the United States Championship, which, by the way, Sheamus has not defended that title once since he won it at WrestleMania. I don't know where they're going with this. I'm not sure what they're trying to do. They have done nothing with Sheamus since he won the United States Championship. Makes me wonder why they even bothered to take it off of Riddle. Riddle is actually doing more with Randy Orton and RK Bro than Sheamus is doing with the United States Championship. That title has quickly become a prop. Matt Riddle has done more with the United States Championship in 49 days than Sheamus has done, and he is almost at the amount of days that Matt Riddle has held the United States Championship. About 2 more weeks, and Sheamus will have tied Matt Riddle's reign, yet Matt Riddle has already done more with the United States Championship in 7 weeks than Sheamus has. Meanwhile, Sheamus, he's probably been one of the better parts about Monday Night Raw. He's been working his ass off. He's been busting his ass, putting on great matches with the likes of Lashley and Drew, Riddle himself. And they've done nothing with him. Where is this leading to? What are they going with in terms of this open challenge gimmick that they have with Sheamus? He's issuing open challenges, but it's not for the United States Championship. Where is this leading to? Is this truthfully leading to John Cena's return? I don't know. And if so, if John Cena comes back, are they going to give him the championship? My guess is no, considering that he's off doing commercial after commercial after commercial and movie after movie after movie. His schedule won't tie into a wrestling return schedule. So, if anything, Cena will probably come back. It'll probably be the first time that Sheamus even defends the fucking championship. And Sheamus will probably win, and then he'll go back to doing open challenges without the United States Championship. I don't know. Where is this open challenge gimmick with Sheamus leading to? They've done nothing with Sheamus. absolutely nothing with Sheamus since he's won the United States Championship. Why'd you even give him the championship? Why'd you even give him the championship if you weren't going to book him like a legitimate champion? And why is this match taking place on the pre-show with no build, no story whatsoever, when you could have built this up going into the next pay-per-view over the course of the next 5 weeks on Raw? Or is that too hard for you? Is that too much work for you, Mr. Pritchard? Maybe if you would stop stuffing your face with White Castle sliders, maybe you'd actually write a decent show. Because maybe, just maybe, there's a little bit of creativity and a little bit of effort in that big-ass head of yours. Your 45-pound head. Maybe if you would put down the White Castle sliders, maybe you could produce a somewhat decent program with Ricochet and Sheamus. The match itself wasn't terrible. I'm not going to sit here and shit on the match. Sheamus is great. Ricochet's great. I could have watched these guys go for another 8-9 more minutes. Decent little match for what it was, but again, at the end of the day, what is this leading to? A decent little match. Looks like it may continue, considering that Ricochet attacked Sheamus afterwards. So Ricochet went right after Sheamus, but Sheamus shut down his momentum pretty quickly. Sheamus was tossing him around. He had an Irish Curse backbreaker. Ricochet then fought back with a quick enziguri. Springboard clothesline, a shooting star press, and a lion salt for a 2. All in one fluid motion. Very, very nice from Ricochet. Ricochet with a nice backstabber. And then a springboard 450 splash, which looked very nice for a 2. Ricochet then went for the 630. He missed it. Sheamus then with a nasty punt knee strike. Right to the head. And Sheamus gets the 1-2-3 on Ricochet. Again, it wasn't terrible. Decent little match. But at the end of the day, what does it mean? It means nothing. This will probably continue with another open challenge without the United States Championship. And Sheamus will continue to duck and dodge any possible defense of his United States Championship whatsoever. Where is this leading to? I don't know. I really don't know. But afterwards, Ricochet then put on Sheamus's coat and hat. He mocked him before Sheamus went after him. And then Ricochet walked up the ramp as Sheamus screamed, "How dare you, how dare you." That was pretty much it. That was the pre-show match. Not terrible, but at the end of the day, I don't really know why we should care about Ricochet and Sheamus when you haven't done anything to make us care about Ricochet. Matter of fact, you've buried Ricochet for the last year and a half plus, going on 2 years, so why should we even care? Ricochet hasn't felt important since his program with AJ Styles, and even that wasn't all that good. Sheamus wins. Decent little match. Nothing really to jump for joy about, but they actually gelled very well together. Again, I could have watched them go for another 8-9 more minutes. So the main show started off with Rhea Ripley versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. This was a triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. I was expecting a lot worse from these 3 women. Considering how these 3 women have been booked and portrayed. But they actually allowed these 3 women to go out there and just wrestle. And we actually got a very good triple threat match. Wasn't great by any means, but it was a nice solid match to open the show. And I was actually surprised. It was a lot better than I expected. Certainly a lot better than a lot of people expected, considering how piss poor the back and forth promos have been between these 3 women. I would even go so far as to say this was probably Charlotte Flair's best match since her return back in December. Matter of fact, this was her only good match since the return back in December. I cannot remember one good match Charlotte Flair has had since her return, minus this one. These 4 women actually worked very well together. And it makes me wonder why they didn't just add Charlotte Flair to the match at WrestleMania to begin with, because it actually would have made the match a lot better between Ripley and Asuka. Not to say that the match at WrestleMania, that was actually the only good match between Rhea Ripley and Asuka at WrestleMania 37. At the, on night 2 specifically, I believe it was. Yeah, it was night 2. Because Sasha and Bianca, they main evented night 1. So this is a triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. Charlotte was in control early before Asuka and Rhea Ripley took out Charlotte Flair. Charlotte then tripped up Rhea Ripley on the apron, literally not even 20 seconds after they collectively took out Charlotte Flair. Not even 20 seconds after Asuka and Ripley collectively took out Flair, Charlotte Flair just magically comes back and just trips up Rhea Ripley. Is it me, or is Charlotte incapable of properly selling a move? I cannot remember the last time she actually made her opponent look good. You just got taken out. You just got taken out by Asuka and Rhea Ripley, and you're over here not even 20 seconds later tripping up Rhea Ripley on the apron. I get it's early in the match, but fucking sell the move. Sell it. Make it seem legit. Make it seem devastating. I don't know what your end goal is to just come back after every single move, not even 20 seconds later, regardless of how early it is in the match, and pretty much act like what your opponents did to you was nothing. Charlotte Flair, she cannot sell for shit. She does not make anyone look good. So, Rhea was out momentarily. Asuka with a rolling armbar. Flair fought free. We had Ripley with a short arm clothesline barrage, and a nice basement dropkick, and a Northern Lights suplex for a 2 before Asuka broke it up. Asuka then with a German suplex barrage to Charlotte. A hip attack to Rhea Ripley. Asuka then with kicks to both Ripley and Asuka. Nice Shining Wizard on Flair for a 2. Ripley and Asuka were then sent to the floor. Charlotte with her terrible-looking moonsault. A lot of people have openly expressed how bad Charlotte's moonsault really is. You know, Christopher Daniels has the BME, the best moonsault ever. We might as well call Charlotte Flair's moonsault the WME, the worst moonsault ever. Charlotte Flair needs to take lessons from Christopher Daniels. Even at 45 years old. 45 years old, Christopher Daniels. 45 years old, Christopher Daniels, with a bloodied face, still does a better moonsault than Charlotte Flair. Factual information. You don't like it? Tough shit. So Charlotte Flair with the worst moonsault ever to the floor. I'm just going to call it the WME. The worst moonsault ever. Every single time Charlotte Flair does it, I'm just calling it the worst moonsault ever. Fuck Charlotte Flair. She didn't win. She lost. But still, fuck Charlotte Flair. And all of her supporters. So, Charlotte with the worst moonsault ever, taking out all 4 women. Flair then went after Asuka. Ripley had Charlotte Flair on the top rope before Asuka joined in as well. Asuka and Ripley with a double superplex to Charlotte Flair. Flair then reversed another double suplex and hit a double chop block and a double natural selection. She tried a double cover. She thought she was Roman Reigns for a little bit, but both women kicked out. Listen, Charlotte, you are not Roman Reigns. Stop trying to be Roman. Well, she may as well be Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns from 2016, 2017, but you ain't Roman Reigns now. Okay? You ain't the tribal chief. Stop trying to be something that you're not. You're an entitled bitch. Not the tribal chief. So, both women kicked out. Charlotte then missed another worst moonsault ever. Asuka with a code breaker. Charlotte literally came back not even a minute after this. Again, she does not know how to fuck. She refuses to sell. Code breaker, and she comes back within like 30 seconds. So, Charlotte Flair with a boot to Rhea Ripley. Charlotte Flair then with a boot to Asuka. She fell to the floor. Rhea Ripley took advantage of Asuka after Asuka was dazed after the boot and hit a riptide. And Ripley pins Asuka and retains the Raw Women's Championship clean. She retains the Raw Women's Championship clean. And I say clean because of this. This outcome, I'm not surprised at. This is actually one of the outcomes that I expected. It was either A, Charlotte Flair was just going to win the title straight up right here, or Ripley was going to pin Asuka, and we were going to get Charlotte campaigning and petitioning that this wasn't fair to Flair, and we were going to get another match with Rhea and Charlotte one-on-one at the next pay-per-view, whatever that next pay-per-view may be, and it turned out to be Hell in a Cell. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Ripley retains the Raw Women's Championship. Very good match for what it was. Much better than I expected. The outcome doesn't surprise me because now it opens up the door for Charlotte Flair to campaign that she wants another match because she wasn't pinned. The thing that surprised me was the fact that Alexa Bliss did not get involved in this match, because Alexa Bliss on Monday Night Raw, she interrupted a 6-woman tag team match. Obviously, she was not targeting Baszler, Nia, Mandy Rose, or Dana Brooke. She was either targeting Asuka or Charlotte. And if I was going to narrow it down to one, I was going to go with Asuka. I had it in my mind that Alexa Bliss was going to show up and cost Asuka, causing Rhea Ripley to retain, or possibly Charlotte Flair winning. But either way, I had it in my mind that Alexa Bliss was going to get involved and she was going to cost Asuka, going into a feud with Asuka from this point on, and leaving Rhea Ripley and Charlotte to fight one-on-one. But that didn't happen. Alexa Bliss did not show face tonight. Rhea Ripley won straight up clean. Rhea Ripley won straight up clean. Now, what does this mean? Could we still get Alexa Bliss targeting Asuka? Yes. Matter of fact, we could very well get Alexa Bliss targeting Asuka tonight. We could very well get Alexa Bliss targeting Asuka tonight on Monday Night Raw or in the coming weeks leading up to the next pay-per-view. And Alexa Bliss is going to feast upon the Empress of Tomorrow. And Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair are going to go into their own program. Or, now, this is something that I didn't start thinking of until I saw that they announced Hell in a Cell for June 20th. And I was like, why the fuck did they announce Hell in a Cell? We just had it in October, so you just completely fucking ruined the pay-per-view calendar. So instead of October, we're going to have it in June for whatever fucking reason. And in my mind, I thought back to a report from, I believe it was Cage Side Seats, and Cage Side Seats did say that Vince McMahon wanted to shake up the pay-per-view calendar schedule, and this may have been it. Vince McMahon wanted to shake up the pay-per-view calendar schedule, so he did. So he did just that. He did just that, and when I saw that he did that, I started to think, okay, Hell in a Cell is June 20th. What if they book Rhea Ripley and Charlotte inside Hell in a Cell, which is a possibility. We could possibly see Rhea Ripley and Charlotte in a Raw Women's title match in the coming weeks, and then that ends in a disqualification or a double countout, and then the Hell in a Cell match gets made. We could possibly see that match get made for Hell in a Cell, inside Hell in a Cell, and we could possibly see Alexa Bliss interfere, possibly, I don't know. She interferes, and she costs Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley retains the Raw Women's Championship. Could that happen? Possibly. But I don't bet on it, because if Alexa Bliss is going into a program with Charlotte Flair, you really think Charlotte Flair is going to let Alexa Bliss go over in that program? When was the last time that Charlotte Flair actually lost a match clean? Think about that. When was the last time Charlotte Flair was actually pinned straight up clean? No bullshit whatsoever. When was the last time Charlotte lost a match clean? I can't fucking remember. I can't fucking remember the last time Charlotte lost a match clean in God knows how long. Probably 2 years ago at most. 2 years ago at most, probably. But I don't know. It's either Charlotte Flair or Asuka that Alexa Bliss is targeting. I thought that she was going to show up right here and cost Asuka. She could still do that. Or she could very well cost Charlotte Flair the Raw Women's Championship in a rematch against Rhea Ripley. We don't know. We don't know. But it's either Charlotte or Asuka. I had it in my mind that it was probably going to be Asuka, but we didn't get that tonight. Or yesterday evening, rather. We didn't get that. We didn't get that at all. Surprisingly. What does this mean? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I would not put it past WWE. We could very well see Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley inside Hell in a Cell. And because Hell in a Cell is associated with the devil and voodoo and satanic rituals, we could see Alexa Bliss interfere in that match, and she could very well target Charlotte Flair. And if Rhea Ripley miraculously makes it past Charlotte Flair, who else is there going to be for her to face? That's why I am not looking forward to the summer of 2021, because we're either going to get Charlotte as the Raw Women's Champion, or we're going to get Eva Marie being thrusted into an immediate Raw Women's title program with Rhea Ripley, because they have nobody else on Raw that they're pushing in a singles capacity outside of Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Asuka is done. Asuka's done. She's finished. She's completely fucking done. Done like dinner. She is done. She is going to be nowhere near a championship for the rest of her days in the WWE. She's either going back to catering, and she's going to sit in catering for the rest of her contract, or she's going into a program with Alexa Bliss, and she's jobbing out to Alexa Bliss. It's either that or catering. Charlotte Flair, she's either winning the title or going into a program with Alexa Bliss. Rhea Ripley, she's either being buried by Charlotte Flair again, or she is going into a program with Eva Marie. The Raw Women's Division absolutely fucking sucks. Very good triple threat to kick off the show, but this division sucks. Charlotte Flair, I expect to get a rematch for the Raw Women's Championship one-on-one at Hell in a Cell. Does Alexa Bliss show up and cost Charlotte Flair? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. From that, we go into Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler versus Rey and Dominik Mysterio. This is for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Dominik was actually attacked by Roode and Ziggler earlier. He was not medically cleared, so Rey went to fight anyway. It was a handicap match for about 8-9 minutes. This match actually got a considerable amount of time. This actually went about 17-18 minutes, I believe. They actually gave these two teams a considerable amount of time. So Roode was sent to the ring post. Rey with a senton off the apron to Robert Roode. Rey's momentum was shut down pretty quickly by Roode. Rey was worn down by the Dirty Dogs. Rey in the Tree of Woe. Roode targeted the leg. Ziggler came in. He kept the pressure on Rey. We had an aided Famouser by the Dirty Dogs. Rey was able to kick out. Rey was playing that come-behind babyface that we all know and love. This is a great spot right here. Roode actually threw Rey under the bottom rope, and Rey slid into a super kick by Dolph. It actually looked pretty damn good. Not gonna lie. And Rey sold it like he got killed. Rey did a very good job at making Roode and Ziggler look like legit heels, I will say. So the ref began her count. Rey just beat the count. Rey reversed a suplex into a double DDT on Roode and Ziggler. Rey tried to rally before Dominik made his way out. And he was like, tag me, tag me, tag me. So Roode distracted Rey. Rey took out Robert Roode. Ziggler with a zigzag, but Rey still kicked out. Rey stayed alive. He was isolated. We had a bulldog to Robert Roode before Dominik tagged himself in. Dominik caught a spinebuster by Robert Roode. A very nice neckbreaker powerbomb combination by Roode and Ziggler, but Dominik still stayed alive. Super kick by Dominik to Dolph. Tag to Rey. Roode with a backbreaker, but Rey still kicked out. Rey Mysterio then hit a 619 to Robert Roode. He tagged in his son. Then we had Rey with a sliding sunset flip powerbomb, sending Ziggler into the barricade as Dominik hit the frog splash from the top. And Dominik Mysterio pins Robert Roode 1, 2, 3. And Rey and Dominik Mysterio are the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And I'm not going to lie, this was incredibly overbooked. But I will say, it was a very, very good a great tag team match, actually. They actually told a very good story in this match. Probably the second best story. Second best story told in the match. The first one, obviously, the main event, which we'll talk about later on. But this was actually a great tag team match. Incredibly overbooked, but still a great tag team match whatsoever. Now, why was this match overbooked? Why did they overbook the shit out of this tag team title match? Still a great match. Don't get me wrong. Still a great match. But why did they overbook it? Now, I was thinking about it, and my guess is that the Usos, you know for a fact that the Usos, they got big plans. I reported that not that long ago. The Usos, they're in the plans to win the SmackDown Tag Team Championships off of a babyface tag team. And lo and behold, Rey and Dominik Mysterio just won the SmackDown Tag Team titles. So, with that being said, I can absolutely see WWE overbooking this match. Great match, but they overbooked it. They overbooked this match to make the Mysterios bigger baby faces. Probably gain them more babyface sympathy because they want to boost their babyface momentum to the highest of the high when they face the Usos at SummerSlam, because the Usos, clear as day, are going to be heels because they're associated with Roman Reigns, who right now is the biggest and baddest heel in the wrestling industry as we speak. Roman Reigns is the biggest and the baddest heel in the wrestling industry as we speak. So, by that logic, the Usos are going to be the top heel tag team on SmackDown. The Mysterios, they overcame all the obstacles after being attacked by Roode and Ziggler, after being just beaten down for the majority of this matchup by Roode and Ziggler, and they still came back and won the match. My guess is that they wanted to gain as much babyface sympathy and as much babyface support for the Mysterios as possible, because that is going to make the match with the Usos that much more special when the Usos eventually take the SmackDown Tag Team Championships from the Mysterios. That's what I was thinking. Now, at the end of the day, you know what? If that's the case, I can live with it. That's the case, I can live with it, because we ended up getting a great tag team match, very well-told story, incredibly overbooked, but hey, it was a well-told story, and Rey and Dominik Mysterio win the SmackDown Tag Team titles in a great tag team match, probably the second best told story of the night. John Morrison, Johnny Drip Drip, he actually has fucking sunglasses that say drip drip on him. I kid you not. And by the way, I kid you not when I tell you, he went to the Lumberjacks locker room to try and persuade the Lumberjacks to help the Miz win, and the Lumberjacks were zombies. And he just walked away. Yes, you heard me correctly. I did not stutter. The video did not glitch out. You are not dreaming. I said zombies. As if we were watching The Walking Dead on WWE television. And this match was apparently sponsored by Army of the Dead, which Dave Bautista is apparently a part of, and he sent his friends to WrestleMania Backlash. Zombies. And these zombies were legitimately the Lumberjacks. These zombies were legitimately the Lumberjacks. So, you take a match that has been overdone, overproduced, and overplayed numerous amounts of times. It's the same fucking match, every single match. And you take that match, a match that really should just be fucking abolished altogether, and you somehow manage to make it worse. You somehow manage to make this program and this feud worse with Damian Priest and The Miz. You somehow managed to make it worse. I kid you not. Lumberjacks. The Lumberjacks were indeed zombies. So we go from bunnies, we go from hey hey ho ho hop hop San Pueblos, and people dressed in bunny outfits, Miz and Morrison rapping at WrestleMania, surrounded by people in Easter bunny costumes. Here comes fucking Peter Cottontail hopping down the bunny trail. We go from bunnies to zombies. Bunnies to zombies. At that point, I was just like, Jesus Christ. Look, I did not give a shit. I really did not give a shit who. I don't give a shit who would have won that match. I was just hoping that this would have been over. I was just praying to whatever God exists that this would have been done and over with. Because I just couldn't take it anymore. I legitimately, I don't know how much more I could have taken Miz Morrison and Damian Priest in a program on Monday Night Raw. I'm not sure how much more I could have taken. Shit like this, they damn near ruined Damian Priest with this program. This has been going on for 3.5 months. I'd like to hope that this is it. I'd like to hope that this is it. I'd like to hope that this is done and over with. The only positive thing that came out of this right here, undoubtedly the worst match on the show. If Dave Meltzer rates this a positive rating, I don't really give a shit about Dave Meltzer's star ratings. I don't. But at the end of the day, if this is not a negative star rating, if this is not as low as The Fiend and Orton was at WrestleMania, he rated that a -1 star. If this is not at least a negative 0.5 stars, we're going to have a problem, Mr. Meltzer. Just pointing that out there. The only positive about this was the fact that Damian Priest won, and I can finally say, I'd like to hope that this is over. Damian Priest won clean, and now we can move on from this. Here's what I don't understand. You got this match, you got a fucking zombie lumberjack match on a pay-per-view, but you put Apollo Crews and the Intercontinental Championship against Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Big E in a random match on SmackDown. Meanwhile, you could have put this match in the spot of The Miz and Damian Priest, and you would have actually made the show just a little bit better. This show could have gone up a few pegs if you would have actually put those men on the pay-per-view. But no, you want to put Damian Priest and The Miz in a fucking zombie lumberjack match on the pay-per-view. And that left a bad taste in my mouth for the rest of the show. And the rest of the show was actually fairly good as well. After this match, the rest of the show actually flowed very, very nicely. I'm not even lying. The rest of the show flowed very, very nicely after this match. But you actually could have made the show just a little bit better if you would have taken this match off the show. Maybe if you would have just killed the program altogether and you would have put in the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental title on this show would have just been a little bit more better. And maybe you could have gone up from a 6.5, maybe a 7, to maybe an 8. Because I know that those men, they're going to absolutely tear the house down on SmackDown. You give those men ample amount of time, they're going to put on a damn good match. Trust me on that. This match was fucking terrible. So Miz tried to run away from the zombies. Priest with his usual offense. Miz locked in the figure 4 before Miz and Priest were actually dragged out by the zombies. And some people were actually trying to defend this shit. Some people were actually trying to defend this shit. Some people were actually trying to defend this shit and trying to say that, oh, but you watched the AEW exploding barbed wire death match and the sparklers that went off at the end of that show. Yeah, and everyone collectively shit on it. That was a botch. That was a clear-cut technical botch. This was deliberately put out there. We still shit on it. We absolutely, I shit all over that. A lot of people shit on the AEW botch, the explosion botch. But the difference was, that was a technical fuck-up. That was a technical fuck-up. This wasn't a technical fuck-up. This was deliberately put out there. This was deliberately written down on a piece of paper, went through the motions of WWE executives and creative minds, and legitimately approved and put out there. This was deliberately done. But you're trying to defend this by going after a technical botch from AEW? Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, we shit on it. It was terrible back on March 7th. But that was just an accident. That was an accident. This was deliberately put out there. You can't defend this. If anyone's trying to defend fucking zombies, people dressed in makeup and raggedy clothes and acting like fucking zombies, you're actually trying to defend that? My God, you are mentally ill. You are absolutely mentally ill. I don't give a shit who you are. So Miz and Priest then fought off the zombies. We go back in the ring. Morrison actually came out. Miz with a running knee, but Priest kicked out. Morrison tried to take out the zombies. The zombies then dragged Morrison behind the barricade. Damian Priest then with hit the lights. Damian Priest wins. Thank fucking Christ. The only positive that came out of this, Damian Priest is now undefeated on pay-per-view. Damian Priest gets the win. And I would like to hope to God that this program is over. But this match was put right smack dab in the middle of the show, right where it should be put in the middle of the show. Right where it should be put. And Damian Priest gets the win as The Miz was swarmed and eaten by the zombies. We'll probably see him tomorrow with all these fucking bite marks and band-aids over him. Or today, rather. Excuse me. Fucking terrible, but that was the only... realistically, if you look at the surface of the show, that was probably the only negative about the show. But this match was fucking terrible. One of the worst matches of the year. Will undoubtedly go down as one of the worst matches of the year. And that sucks for Damian Priest, because Damian Priest deserves better. Let's get Damian Priest in matches with individuals not named The Miz and John Morrison. Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell is on June 20th, not Money in the Bank. So, Money in the Bank was actually reportedly set for June 20th, according to Dave Meltzer, but that did not happen. So, I got a report. Ringside News actually reported, and I'm looking at it right now. Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men Wrestling podcast tweeted out a scoop that was given to them, and the rumor now is that Money in the Bank is coming on July 18th, and the event will be held with live fans. Yes, you heard that correctly. You heard that correctly. So, Extreme Rules, that was actually set for July 18th internally with the company, and we were going to have Money in the Bank on June 20th. But no, they decided to move things around. Now, what's going to happen with Extreme Rules? I don't know. Maybe we get Extreme Rules in the place of where the October pay-per-view, which is usually Hell in a Cell, is held. But Extreme Rules, I reported not that long ago that Extreme Rules was actually set for July 18th, internally with the company. But Vince McMahon and his idea to shake up the calendar year, we ended up getting Money in the Bank on July 18th, and it wants to be held with live fans. And listen, I understand that. That's fine. But Hell in a Cell, that's a match that absolutely needs live fans as well. That's a match that could absolutely use live fans. And if we're going to get live fans back in the summer leading into the fall of 2021, why even put Hell in a Cell as the final pay-per-view of the pandemic era? Why not just move Extreme Rules or do a Clash of Champions? Or even a tables, ladders, and chairs I would take. Even though those matches they kind of need live fans as well. But why not just do like a Clash of Champions or a Payback? Why not do Payback? Something that doesn't involve a match of high caliber, or a match that was once of high caliber until you fucking ruined it. I don't understand why it needs to be Hell in a Cell, when Hell in a Cell is a match that's just as big as Money in the Bank that needs a live audience. I don't really understand why you would put Hell in a Cell in the place of Money in the Bank, rather than something like a Payback or a Clash of Champions. SummerSlam's already set for the end of August. If you want to do Money in the Bank with live fans, I get it. That's fine. I understand that. But why put Hell in a Cell there? Seems rather odd to me. I don't know what they're building towards. We'll have to wait and see. Bayley versus Bianca Belair. This is for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This was a overall decent enough match for Bianca Belair's first title defense. Bianca Belair obviously was not going to lose the championship. The finish looked very, very sloppy. I'm not sure what they were... Actually, I knew what they were going for. The finish was very, very sloppy. The match was decent. Bayley really carried a lot of this match. Bayley did a very good job. Very nice in-ring psychology with Bayley. Bayley really will go down in the history books. Undoubtedly. Bayley will go down as one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. She is fantastic at what she does. The in-ring psychology, the mannerisms, the promo skills, the way that she just carries herself in this heel gimmick, the wittiness. Everything about Bayley just screams talent. That's what I love about Bayley. And she actually made Bianca look very good in this. I wish Bianca would have gotten a little bit more offense, but it was a decent enough match for Bianca's first title defense. So Bianca was in control early. Very nice handspring moonsault for a 2. Bayley took over. She was wearing down Belair. Belair blocked a suplex from Bayley, a nice vertical suplex into the ring. Bayley dropped Bianca onto the steps, and then she suplexed her on the floor. Bayley could not put her away. Belair with a spine buster for 2. Bayley with a clothesline and a flying elbow, but Bianca still kicked out. Bianca was then sent headfirst into the post. Bayley missed a suicide dive. Belair then with a glam slam on the apron. She threw Bayley back into the ring, but Bayley was able to kick out. Bayley then tried to use the ropes, but the ref caught her. Bayley then raked the eyes, and this was actually pretty innovative right here. I actually love this spot right here. Bayley went for the braid, went for the long braid of Belair, and Bayley used the braid to rip cord Bianca Belair into a Bayley to belly. That looked awesome. But Bianca was able to still kick out. Bianca took a lot of offense, and she was still kicking out. So Bianca actually looked very, very nice, kicking out of all the offense that Bayley had to offer. Bayley went for the rose plant, but Bianca used her hair to roll up Bayley very, very sloppily for the win. And I understand what they were going for, but the finish, that could have been executed a lot better. That could have been executed a lot better. Now, what does this mean? I am going off the fact that I believe that this was going to be the planned finish. This was the planned finish, and Bianca used her hair to roll up Bayley for the 1, 2, 3, and Bayley is going over to Pat McAfee, Michael, saying that, oh, she cheated. So, by that logic, it makes sense for this feud to continue. And, matter of fact, I expect this feud to continue. Why? Because WWE rarely gives new women opportunities. I'm actually still shocked. I'm legitimately shocked that Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley have made it this long collectively as champions. I'm legitimately shocked that Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley are both still champions. Now, they're not going to be champions for very long. At the same time, I expect Rhea Ripley to lose that title before Bianca Belair, but based on what happened here, this is going to continue because WWE rarely gives new women opportunities, or at least the correct women new opportunities. Again, I'm still shocked that Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley are champions simultaneously right now. They're lucky. If I'm going to be quite honest, Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley are both lucky to still be champions. They're lucky that they even got 1 month reigns as champions. But I expect Rhea to lose that title before Bianca does. But this was a decent enough match. Very sloppy finish. Very, very sloppy finish. But they did that because they're going to continue the feud. Bayley's going to continue her program with Bianca going into Hell in a Cell. Maybe we get Sasha Banks coming back. Maybe we get Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair too. Maybe we do. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. But very, very sloppy finish. But a decent overall matchup. Definitely not the worst match of the night, but Bianca Belair and Bayley, they had very nice in-ring psychology, I will say. Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman. Strowman Express. And Drew, the Scottish Warrior. I don't know why I turned into an English guy there. And the almighty Bobby Lashley. This is a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. And here's one thing I will say. I will give WWE credit. I love that the show closed with both world title matches going on last. I like how the last 2 matches on the show were the WWE and the Universal Championship. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. That's how every single pay-per-view on the main roster should be. You close out, the last 2 matches on the show should be your 2 World Championship title matches. Why? Because the 2 World title matches are the most important championship matches on the brand, in the entire company. Whether it be the WWE Championship or the Universal Championship closing the show, I don't care. As long as those 2 championship matches go on second to last and last. That's how you close out a pay-per-view. The last 2 matches on the show are your 2 World Championship title matches. That's what should be done. So I will give WWE a little credit there. I did not expect a lot from this match. Matter of fact, I thought this match was going to be a very, very sloppy match. I thought this match was not going to be all that good. But I actually thought that the women's match between Rhea Ripley, Asuka, and Charlotte, I actually thought that they were going to have a better match than the men. But this was actually a very good match. This may have been Braun Strowman's best match since the match with Seth Rollins all the way back at Clash of Champions in 2019 for the Universal Championship. That was Braun Strowman's last good match. Braun Strowman, you know what? I shit on Braun Strowman a lot, but for one night, I'll go easy on him. You know why? Because Braun Strowman was actually trying in this match. He was doing dives off the apron. He was doing running sentons. He was doing power bombs to Drew McIntyre through the table. He was actually trying. He was actually trying in this match. So you know what? I'll go easy on him. Maybe do more of that, Strowman. Maybe if you're watching, Strowman, maybe if you do more of that, maybe I won't shit on you so much. But Strowman didn't look half bad. Strowman did not look half bad here. He was actually trying. Maybe he saw all the mockery from that Shane McMahon feud, and he's like, you know what? I'm actually going to try here. I'm actually going to bring my A game, or somewhat of an A game. I'll bring my C- game. I'll bring my C- game. This was actually a very good match. I'm not even going to lie. I think that this match exceeded everyone's expectations. So Lashley and Drew work together, take out Strowman with a double stalling suplex. Strowman actually jumped off the apron. It looked like he overshot the cannonball, but he still got it. Back in the ring, we had a chokeslam to Bobby Lashley for a 2. Strowman then brought in the steps after Lashley took out Drew momentarily, and he hit Lashley with them. Drew with a Claymore, sending Strowman over the barricade, so he was taken out for the time being. Drew and Lashley fought up the ramp. Lashley with a suplex to Drew on the ramp. Drew then fought back and sent Lashley into the side of the stage that the virtual fans were on, and the sparks just flew, so Lashley was out. Lashley was out, and that was the last time you would see Bobby Lashley up until the end. So, Drew was then met by Braun Strowman. Strowman bulldozed Drew. He hit an overhand chop, and then he actually pulled out a running senton. First time I've ever seen Strowman do a running senton, and I'll give him credit. It looked good. Never thought I'd actually be giving Braun Strowman credit. It looked good. Strowman looked good. He looked good on that senton. He came down with all his weight on Drew. I would not want to receive a senton from Braun Strowman. Not as good as Bronson Reed and how Bronson Reed does his senton, but regardless, Strowman did a fairly decent running senton. Pulling out new moves. Drew got Braun Strowman up. He picked Braun Strowman up and actually delivered a beautiful Meishinuku driver. Strowman is no small man. That is a big guy. Strowman is a big boy. He is a big, hefty boy. And Drew McIntyre got him up in a beautiful Meishinuku driver for a 2 count. Drew then with a belly-to-belly to Strowman on the floor. Strowman then stopped the Claymore, and he powerbombed Drew through the announce table. Back in the ring, Drew was able to recover. He reversed the power slam from Braun Strowman, and he nailed Strowman with the Claymore. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Bobby Lashley resurfaces. He tossed Drew out of the ring, and he delivers a spear to Braun Strowman. 1, 2, 3, and Bobby Lashley pins Braun Strowman to retain the WWE Championship. This was the outcome that I expected. This was the outcome that I believe a lot of people expected. Strowman, like I said before, and like I've been saying for weeks, Strowman was put in this match to take the pin. And similar to what they're going to do with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, they're going to do the same thing with Drew and Lashley. I want all of you to remember this for the next 7 hours. Remember this for the next 7 hours until Monday Night Raw hits the air, ladies and gentlemen. Braun Strowman was in this match to take the pin, clearly. Strowman was in this match simply to take the pin. So, what is going to happen now, you ask? What's going to happen now is Drew McIntyre is going to come out as Bobby Lashley and MVP are addressing the virtual crowd in the Thunderdome. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, they're going to stand face to face as Bobby Lashley is relishing his victory. Drew comes out and Drew's going to say, "You know, Bobby, you were able to walk out of WrestleMania Backlash with the WWE Championship. But I'm going to tell you something, you big bald bitch. You pinned Braun Strowman, you didn't pin me, so as far as I'm concerned, I am still the #1 contender, and I'm going to take back my WWE Championship." Terrible accent, I know. Terrible accent, I know, but you get where I'm coming from. Drew McIntyre is going to come out and confront Bobby Lashley, and we're going to get another 5-week build towards Hell in a Cell, and we're probably going to get a Hell in a Cell match between Drew McIntyre and Mr. Lashley. And that is going to be one of the top matches that's going to sell Hell in a Cell. And that's pretty much that. Strowman was in this match to take the pin. Bobby Lashley retains the championship. Drew is going to face off against Bobby Lashley inside Hell in a Cell. What happens? I don't know. Does Drew win the championship? I don't know. Possibly. What does Lashley do at SummerSlam? Daniel Bryan is clearly not re-signing anytime soon. Daniel Bryan is clearly not coming back, and if he does come back, it's going to be in a part-time schedule. So if anything, I wouldn't be surprised if they call upon Brock Lesnar. I wouldn't be surprised if they call upon Brock Lesnar to face Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam. And if that's the case, I don't understand why anyone would even be excited about that. Oh my God, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley. Yeah, I understand that. That's an intriguing matchup, but you do realize that Bobby Lashley is the WWE Champion, right? Unless Drew wins the title back and we get Drew and Mahal at SummerSlam, which, fuck's sake, I hope not. But at the end of the fucking day, if Bobby Lashley makes it past Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley goes into SummerSlam with the WWE title to face Brock Lesnar, you do understand WWE's reputation with Brock Lesnar and world title matches, right? Every single time Brock Lesnar's in a world fucking title match, it's almost a guarantee that he's going to win. It's almost a guarantee that if you put Brock Lesnar against a world champion, no matter who it may be, he's going to win. So I don't understand why. I really don't understand why anyone would be excited about a Brock Lesnar-Bobby Lashley match when you know the outcome is going to be Brock Lesnar winning if Bobby Lashley is the WWE Champion, because this company somehow thinks that Brock Lesnar as the WWE Champion is a major draw. He's not. He's not a major draw with the championship. He's not. And he's not going to bring back ratings. He's not going to bring back an aura that we desperately need in the main event scene. It's going back to the same old shit that we've seen for God knows how long with the WWE. So I don't understand why anyone would even be in support of a Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley WWE title match. If we do get a Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar match, it could be a great match, yes, but in the end, Brock Lesnar's going to win the championship. You know this company's reputation with Brock Lesnar in world title matches. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. Does Drew win the title back at Hell in a Cell? I don't know. I don't know. I honest to God don't know. Everything is just a big question mark, and to be quite honest with you, I don't think WWE even knows what they're going to do. But, man, I would not be surprised if Drew wins the championship, Mahal wins Money in the Bank. I wouldn't be surprised if Mahal wins Money in the Bank regardless of who the WWE Champion is. I would give the fucking briefcase to Mustafa Ali, to be quite honest with you. I don't even give a shit if he's been buried or how long he's been off television. Take a fucking risk. Give the briefcase to Ali. Clearly, no one on SmackDown's beating Roman, unless they want to revisit the feud with Kevin Owens, and they want to have Kevin Owens win Money in the Bank, and he could win the Universal Championship from Roman. Although I doubt that's going to happen. Got a little sidetracked there, but Bobby Lashley retains the WWE Championship. A very good triple threat match. Probably Strowman's best match in almost 2 years. But what are we getting? Drew and Lashley ain't over. Why? Because he wasn't pinned. And they have really nobody else I would call up Finn Balor, and I would do Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam, and I would give Finn Balor the WWE Championship, to be quite honest with you. Main event. Main event. Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, versus Cesaro. This was for the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns and Cesaro. Awesome fucking match. With an excellent story told in this match. From start to finish, the story in this match was brilliant. Excellent in-ring psychology. Fantastic in-ring work. Fantastic story. Both men brought it. And both men... I'd like to hope that WWE really does see what they have in Cesaro, because Cesaro absolutely brought everything to the table in this match with Roman Reigns. So, we had Reigns and Cesaro trading strikes back and forth. Reigns took over. He tried to wear down Cesaro. Cesaro with a very nice pop-up uppercut. He tried to rally. He locked in the sharpshooter, but Reigns got to the ropes immediately. Cesaro with a corkscrew plancha, taking out Roman. Cesaro then with a wicked uppercut and a beautiful crossbody for a 2. Cesaro, he could do it all, man. Reigns then targeted the bad arm of Cesaro, the right arm, I believe it was, of Cesaro, which landed hard on the outside. Reigns then dropkicked Cesaro, arm first into the post. He kept the pressure on Cesaro, started trash-talking Cesaro. He's like, I got responsibilities, son. Roman Reigns just oozing confidence. Cesaro rallied. A very nice deadlift superplex. I love that deadlift superplex by Cesaro. Very nice deadlift superplex for a close 2 count. Cesaro then with a springboard, but Roman Reigns delivered a Superman punch to Cesaro in midair. Reigns then locked in the guillotine. He locked it in deep, but Cesaro powered out of it. Cesaro then locked in the sharpshooter again, locked in deep. Cesaro then transitioned into a crossface. Beautiful transition. Reigns then grabbed the bad arm, and Reigns then hit a ground and pound on Cesaro, a deadlift powerbomb. Cesaro barely got the shoulder up. Reigns with the guillotine again. Cesaro tried to break the grip, but he just couldn't do it. He was trying. He was like trying to pull the arm. You saw the intensity in the face of Cesaro, trying to break the arm and trying to break the grip, but he couldn't do it. Very nice story told there. Excellent visual right there. And Cesaro, he did not tap out. He passed out. And I love the fact that they didn't have Cesaro tap. I love the fact that, A, Cesaro didn't tap, he passed. That could possibly be a bridge towards another Roman Reigns-Cesaro match, and I really do hope it is. I really do hope that that is going to be a bridge towards rebuilding Cesaro back up. And I do hope that later down the line, Cesaro does win the Universal Championship from Roman, even though I don't expect him to. I actually expect Keith Lee to be the one to do it, depending on what happens with Keith Lee. I actually saw some news on Keith Lee, which we'll talk about on the Lightning Flash update on Saturday. But as far as this goes, this was an awesome main event. Excellent story told between both men. Cesaro brought everything to the table. I love the fact, A, Cesaro did not tap, he passed, and B, Roman won clean. Without Jay, without Jimmy, without any interference. No low blow, no exposed turnbuckle, no interference from Heyman, no nothing. Roman Reigns won clean. And that right there, that is the mark of a true champion. Afterwards, Jay came out, and he was given the okay by Cesaro to, or the okay by Roman to attack Cesaro. He attacked Cesaro, and then he stood face-to-face with Seth Rollins, did Roman Reigns. Rollins came out, he stood face-to-face with Reigns, he laughed, and he attacked Cesaro. He bashed a chair over Cesaro, he put the chair around Cesaro's arm, and he said, I'm Seth freaking Rollins, nobody makes a mockery out of me, and he bashed his arm into the post, and stomped Cesaro's head into the floor, and he stood tall as WrestleMania Backlash went off the air. And that was that. Now, what does this mean? I'm guessing we're getting another match between Rollins and Cesaro. I mean, I want to be somewhat happy that Cesaro is still floating around the main event scene, because, you know, he deserves to be floating around the main event scene. He is absolutely a man that has earned that spot. He's definitely a man that has worked his ass off for that spot, but I just can't help but feel that this is nothing more than a match for Rollins to win. Rollins is going to win, and that's going to be Rollins' gateway into getting a Universal title match against Roman Reigns. Now, what happens with Roman now? It seems as though, considering what happened, it really does seem as though Cesaro's pretty much done for now, and Cesaro's going to continue his program with Seth Rollins. And they just did this just to get Roman Reigns through another pay-per-view and give him a great match, which it was a great match, give him a great match, and give him a successful title defense. And now he's going to continue to go into a program with his cousin Jimmy, because Jimmy is being defiant in the face of the tribal chief. He's being defiant in the face of the head of the table. So it would make sense that Jimmy would probably go into a feud with his own cousin Roman Reigns, and if so, we'll probably get another fucking I Quit Hell in a Cell match, which we don't really need to see. And maybe we get another matchup at Money in the Bank. But as far as I see it, this just seems like an interim program for Roman Reigns. And Seth Rollins, he's going to get his win back over Cesaro en route to getting a match with Roman at SummerSlam, which really isn't necessary. Should be a great match, but really isn't necessary. But that's what I see happening. I'd like to hope that Cesaro is still going to float around the main event scene, but I see Cesaro losing this match to Seth Rollins, and Rollins is going to be the next in line for Roman Reigns. I wouldn't be surprised. And this goes back to what I said. Without Daniel Bryan spearheading Cesaro's push in creative, WWE's free to do whatever they want. Cesaro, I would not be surprised if they just put Cesaro right back in mid-card purgatory. Maybe even in a tag team with Shinsuke Nakamura again. If I was Cesaro, maybe they give Cesaro the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. I don't know, but I really do hope that his push is going to continue. But ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of The Rewind. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. Thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe. Overall, fairly good show. Fairly good show, but it's one good show with the WWE. I'm not getting my hopes up, but we got a decent 3 hours of professional wrestling, so we can hang our hat on that. Sunday was not a complete waste of time. Like, comment, subscribe, check out all the links in the description, and I will catch you this Saturday for the Lightning Flash update. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. I'm DJ Storms. This has been The Rewind. You have an awesome week. I'll catch you live tweeting for Monday Night Raw.